On this episode of the Third and Thirsty podcast, the Broncos season finally comes to an end. They lose an AFC Championship game with Sean Payton right to go on fourth down, and we'll talk about it. We need to have an uncomfortable conversation about Courtland Sutton. Let's get into it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome into the Third and Thirsty podcast, your one-pot stop for Broncos, Chargers, Raiders, Kansas City referee, and Taylor Swift free. AFC West banter. I'm Alex Bell, fan of the Denver Broncos, the newest visitors to Cancun. To my left, Omar Rubio. He's a fan of the Chargers. They might just be leaving. They kept it warm for the Broncos. And to my right, Edgar Larios. I don't know what the Raider fans are doing at this point. Raider players, they were probably in Cancun weeks ago.
They were in Cancun, and then they went over to Florida to watch their future star, hopefully, Mendoza.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably.
That's true. All three team seasons is over at this point, unfortunately. Pretty shitty game yesterday on Sunday. But after a day of kind of gathering it and taking it in, not as upset as I was when the game ended, that's for sure. Able to calm myself down pretty quickly. That was probably the weirdest week as a football fan I think I've ever experienced. You know, the high of beating the Bills, seeing Bo Nix take that next step into becoming an elite quarterback, just to find out right away that he broke his ankle, and then the season was essentially over. Trying to rally behind Stiddy all week and getting to the game, and then seeing pretty quickly like, damn, the Patriots are pretty ass, and the Broncos could certainly win this game, and not winning it. So just going from like, all right, you know what, the season's over, to, hey, there's a little bit of hope, to, hey, we should win this game, to why the fuck didn't we just not win this game? Weird roller coaster. What did you guys think of the game?
Yeah, it was very interesting. It was the first time I've ever seen weather change that quick too.
Dude, that was nuts.
Like, it was insane.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Basically 2 games.
Yeah.
That's Denver weather though, man. We're all California boys, so I'm probably the only one that's visited Denver out of the three of us.
As of right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon. But
Obviously not that extreme, but I mean, when you're there, I was playing golf with my cousins, and they're all from Denver. So we're golfing. It's a beautiful day, and all of a sudden the clouds come, and like a 40-mile-per-hour gust of wind hits. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And they look at me like, yeah, this is totally normal. Like, it's just weather changes like that in Denver. And I think that was the most extreme version of that for sure.
Yeah, here in California, specifically in the Central Coast where we're at, the weather goes from like really good to even better. So we're not used to that type of weather.
Yeah.
if it's gonna get windy, it's definitely not 40 mile per hour winds.
Not out of nowhere. Not out of nowhere.
Especially not out of nowhere. But yeah. So, anyways, back to the game. At first, dude, I honestly thought you guys had it when that first touchdown drive you guys had. Stiddy was just comfortable in the pocket. Sean Payton was calling really good plays. It really seemed like he was calling plays that were like, you know, just easy. More like, you know, something easy for Stidham to read and basically react to. But honestly, like, and your defense was playing lights out. Like, they kept them to like maybe 68 yards at most until I think it was halftime or something. But it was insane. The Patriots defense definitely was keeping your guys' offense on your toes. But yeah, there was a lot of misses. I don't know. We can say it's the weather, especially with that missed field goal. But
yeah, well, I mean, yeah, the whole second half when the blizzard hit, I mean, there wasn't much going on either side of the ball for sure.
But honestly, even with that weather change, I think that what hurt you guys was, I mean, you guys were running the ball pretty well with all three of your running backs, Harvey, Jaleel, and even your other running back involved. Yeah, but man, Stevenson was running like with the madman. I mean, he was getting hit hard by your guys' linebackers, but he was still running downfield. But yeah, like you said, it was really weird. Super low scoring, not enough. It really felt like I felt like you guys could have scored at any time and just won the game. But yeah, that defense just stayed locked up.
Yeah, the Broncos defense probably had maybe arguably their best performance of the season. The only thing they were lacking was the turnovers, which, you know, kind of sucked because obviously they had turned that on during the Buffalo's game, and the Patriots have been turning the ball over quite a bit during the playoffs. So sucked that they weren't able to pick up one or two of those, but I mean, outside of that, I mean, Drake May wasn't able to do shit. They couldn't move the ball at all during the first half, even when the weather was nice. So the Broncos defense really definitely came to play. The only touchdown they give up is obviously because Stiddy's weird two-handed bounce pass or whatever the fuck he was trying to do there. It's just the ultimate panic of like, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to get rid of the ball. And, yeah, if it wasn't for that, I mean, very likely the Broncos would have only given up 3 points during the game. And to do that in a January football game, I mean, there's no excuse not to win when you only score 7 points. You know,
yeah,
the Broncos did.
I thought that the Broncos, honestly, their run game wasn't. I thought that that's what they were going to have to lean on, but it didn't seem like they were really. I mean, they were trying to, but they never seemed like they fully like leaned into that. It still seemed like he was still trying to keep them on their toes, but at that point, it's like you just got to lean into that run and go power and try to get yards like that and try to win by field goals. You know what type of game you're in at that point, and if it's a field goal away, then hey, let's get down 30, 40 yards just by running the ball and try to kick a field goal and see if we can win this game like that.
Yeah, the frustrating thing as a Bronco fan, just not just looking at that loss, but looking earlier in the year at the trade deadline, expecting the Broncos to do something. Now, you can't blame them for not trading for like a Breece Hall because at that point, J.K. was still healthy, you know, and he was a third leading rusher in the league at that point. He got hurt the week after the fucking trade deadline.
Yeah, there was just nobody behind him, though. Even RJ wasn't.
No.
They weren't even giving him the runway to try to show what he's got. Yeah, it seemed like they were kind of trying to redshirt him a little bit.
Look, RJ Harvey's a good back, but he's a complimentary back. He's not your bell cow guy that you could go and say, hey, give us 4 or 5 yards of pop. Like,
well, especially as a rookie, you know, as a rookie. They kind of seemed like they had a plan for him for his rookie year, kind of, you know, get him engaged a little bit, but they knew there was going to be the rookie growing pains, and they said JK, we trust in him, but you really can't trust in a JK with all his injury, like all the years that he's had, that he's never really played a full season. So, yeah. I mean, I give it up to JK. Like I said, I loved him when he was with the Chargers. It was sad to see him go, but there's a reason why, you know, people keep passing on him at this point. It's just the injuries, it is what it is, and those are going to start taking a toll. So
yeah, and we'll talk about what the Broncos should be doing in this offseason, but it is a little bit relevant to today because they had, you know, end of the season, not press conferences, but they were talking to the media a little bit. And love J.K. Dobbins, man. I mean, he said he wants to be back. He said he's a Denver Bronco for life, and that just goes to show the Broncos culture that they're building there. J.K. came in. He's the first year with the Broncos, and he wants to spend the rest of his life with the Broncos. And he's been on multiple teams already. So, I mean, he knows what different situations look like, what different organizations look like, what poverty organizations look like. And he wants to stay in Denver. So, love that. I don't know if they'll be able to make it work out or if it's the right move. My heart says, please come back. But, you know, at the same time, got to think about it. It's like if we find ourselves in this situation again next year without a solid running back in a snow game, and you're just kind of fucked. So, yeah. But best case scenario, he comes back and he's healthy. But we'll see. We'll see.
So what do you think about the whole going for it down early in the game?
Yeah, let's talk about the 4th and 1. So watching the game live, and I've gone back and forth on this, and I think I've landed on where I actually feel about it now after 24 hours. Watching the game, you know, I'm sitting here with my brother watching it, and I'm saying, Sean, kick the field goal. Just take the points, take the points. They go and line up. They go into shotgun, and I'm like, damn it, Sean, if you're going to go for it, don't get cute. Just run the ball up the middle. Try to rely on something that you think is going to get you a couple yards. They call the timeout. They go under center, and then they run the play action. And, of course, when it doesn't work, you could always use hindsight and say 2020. Shouldn't have gone for it. I went to bed last night thinking they really should have just took the points. But honestly, don't hate that they went for it. And that's because, look, Sean was aggressive all season, and you kind of have to stick with what got you there. He always went for it on those 4th and 1 short situations. He was probably thinking in his mind, like, if we could get up 14-0, the game's essentially over at this point because the defense was locking them down. They can't move the ball. You know, you might be able to say the same thing about 10-0, but again, you want to be aggressive. And I talked about last week with Sean, one of the things he likes winning and he likes being right. And this might have gotten the best of him at this point where he wasn't just saying, hey, I'm going to go for it, but I'm going to put it in my backup quarterback's hands and let him pick up this first down, show you motherfuckers. And that certainly didn't work out. It was not the right play call.
Definitely bit him in the ass.
Yeah. It was dead on arrival, man. Like, as soon as he got the ball in his hands, he had 3 or 4 dudes in his face, and it was just like, there's no way in hell that he's going to be able to get the ball out somewhere where they'll be able to catch it. And that's the way it worked out. But, you know, I think I've come to the conclusion, I like that he went for it, hate the play call. You know, you're playing with house money in that game, right? You're playing with a backup quarterback. You feel like you really need to kind of come up with some big plays like that to win the game. And you be aggressive. So I do like the aggressiveness of it. Again, hate the play call.
I don't know. I think the situation like you laid out with your backup quarterback, I think you take the points whenever you can get them.
I totally understand that argument.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could really be wrong on this except for calling that play.
Well, I mean, for me, the way I saw it when I saw that, I mean, like you said, I like the aggressiveness. But to be honest with you, you're betting yourself on a quarterback who hasn't played all season, who hasn't had a start, or hasn't any of that.
Mm-hmm.
In 2 seasons. Yeah, exactly. So for me, it's like you're already up 7-0. You make this field goal, you're up 10-0.
Right.
You have an entire half, quarter and a half, or half and a quarter, whatever. And he had another opportunity to make a field goal. Of course, it missed. You know, the weather completely messed it up. But that could have been 13, whatever, 7, maybe 10. I don't know. Personally, like you said, cool him being aggressive, but I would have definitely just took the points, let my defense continue playing the way they are, and hopefully let them continue getting down to continue making field goals. If it was Bo, on the other hand, for sure I would have gone down I would have done the 4th down because, 1, Bo can actually run out of that situation, and 2, I'm pretty sure like they would have stayed in shotgun and he probably would have just got the ball. He would have got rid of the ball or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it would have went a lot differently.
So at the end of the day,
we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second.
So at the end of the day, for me, it's like, sure, Sean Payton wanted to be aggressive, but when you're with your backup quarterback, and yeah, he's having his moment where he's like, you know, very confident making all the plays, I would have just took the points and let him just. It's a long game. You still have a lot of time. If it was the 4th quarter, then maybe that's another. Maybe I would be like, okay, now you can go for it, but you had plenty of time.
Yeah, no, I get the argument both ways. Totally. You know, again, I've changed my mind on it, so that's why, again, I totally get both arguments. But, you know, also a way to look at it, too, and, you know, this is something that they talked about on DMVR. Henry was the one that brought it up, and it's a good point. You know, this game was a lot of it was just possession and field, or I'm sorry, possession and field position, right? So, you know, worst case scenario, you don't get it. They have the ball at the 15 now. Your defense is playing so well, you expect to get that ball back at your own 40. You know, and you're going to have another chance at a field goal. So it's aggressive. The way the defense is playing, you like to take that chance because you don't expect them to be able to. They're not the Bills. You know, they're not moving the ball up and down the field like the Bills were the week before. And, you know, it just didn't work out.
Yeah. They're also not the Bills who aren't letting you drive down the field on them at the same time. You know, their defense was pretty stout. I mean,
defense was playing well, but also you have Jarrett Stidham and not Bo Nix. So.
And then another thing, too, like you can tell, I think it was in the 3rd or 4th quarter when, you know, Broncos had just punted and Patriots went out there for just 3 straight runs and just killed like a good minute and a half on the clock. They were like, yeah, my defense, we're going to bet all on our defense. We're already 10-7. Mm-hmm. Like, as long as we keep them, you know.
Yeah, the Patriots were definitely betting on their defense, too. There was a couple of drives there at the end of the game where.
They're just like, just trying to kill time. That's
it.
Yeah.
They weren't really trying to do anything. That's kind of where I was going with it, is that even if it was Stidham out there, the Broncos receivers were getting no separation. They weren't getting, like, really anybody they weren't really scheming anybody open. Yeah, you got to deal with the elements, but the defense does too. You know, they're having a hard time, you know, getting their footing or making quick stops and turns, things like that. So I also think that the Patriots defense was really sticky. They were playing man coverage for the most part.
Yeah,
and they were
they're
locking
good on
down
Yeah.
the Broncos receivers, honestly.
Yeah, and they're changing up looks on Stiddy. Look, the Patriots did a good job. We could give them a lot of shit for their path to the Super Bowl, and I think it's valid, but they still are a good team. I mean, again, you can only play the teams in front of you. And,
Yeah, and even that, I saw, yes, on the offensive side of the ball for their opponents wasn't much to say, but
they still beat three good
po-
defenses.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They played the Texans, which was the number one defense, probably. The Broncos, probably right behind them, and the Chargers still a top 10.
Oh,
I mean,
so,
overall.
Okay, so the Texans are a better defense than the Chargers.
I mean, overall. But when I said that back in week 17, that was, I'm saying, take the last couple weeks into account. I think the Chargers were playing better at the time, but we'll get back to I'm saying overall in the season, yes, they were a better defense. But I'm just saying that, like, you got to take that into account too. They beat three of the top defenses in the league.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk a ton of shit about the Patriots today. They're not as hateable at this point. I mean, we'll see if they win this Super Bowl and maybe another couple. Then you could really hate the Patriots. But at this point, I mean, Mike Vrabel seems like a super dope dude.
Yeah, he looks like a
great
really
coach.
good
May, at this point, you can't really hate him.
He's a quarterback for the Patriots, so I hate him already.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's fair. The thing that you hate most, especially as a Bronco or a Raider fan, is you hate McDaniels.
Yes.
That was the thing, too. Like, waking up this morning and be like, God damn it, that motherfucker beat us again. Like, I'm so sick of seeing that guy beat us.
Dude, there's Raider fans being like, "Oh, like Raiders can't do it right. McDaniel's in the Super Bowl, and fucking when he was with the Raiders, he couldn't do shit." I'm like, that's because he was a head coach.
Yeah, he's
a way better offensive coordinator than he would ever be a head coach.
Yeah, just let him scheme stuff up, but don't ever let him try
Don't
to
ever
lead a team.
Make a decision.
Yeah, no, that guy's trash.
Like let somebody like somebody like Mark Dable that would beat his ass if he tries to do something stupid.
That's true.
Like if you went to Jack in the Box and they asked him, "Do you want straight fries or curly fries?" He'd probably say, "I want sweet potato fries," and they don't even have that there.
It's a weird analogy, but I guess it works.
It works.
Let's move on from the fourth down. I guess since we're only talking about the game today, why don't we go ahead and take a quick break and say shout out to anybody on YouTube watching us. Thank you. Appreciate you watching. If you're a Bronco fan, cry with me. And we're going to keep doing this during the offseason. We'll probably scale it back down to once a week here. But we'll be talking about free agent stuff and recapping last year and all that good stuff. So ride with us during the offseason. Well, we got 7 months to go now before we get back into football. This is the worst time of year.
As fast as we said that
season.
like the season was going, the off season goes so much slower.
It goes so slow.
Yeah.
It goes slow. So like the video, subscribe if you like what we're doing. Really appreciate that. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think about the game. And
Let us know where you're drinking.
that too.
We got some beers.
So one thing I wanted to talk about is how much different that game would have looked if Bo was playing. You know, don't like to play the what if game too much, but I do think it's relevant just to show, or we saw again how valuable Bo is to this football team. You know, we could talk get too deep into it. The Buffalo Bills fans last week really showed like the shittiest fan base, and when it comes to losing and like how not to react to a loss. They spent all week talking about the refs. The refs had a couple of questionable calls with the Broncos, but we're not even going to talk about it because if you only score 7 points in a football game, it doesn't matter what the refs do. You know, you don't deserve to win. That Drake May tush push 4th and 1, I don't think he got there. I don't know. Do you guys think he got there? It's pretty fucking close.
Yeah.
It's pretty close, and if they already
they called
it
it
one way,
yeah,
then
it's hard to overturn.
Yeah, overturn. Yes.
So that's what makes it tough. I don't know.
At least they looked at it.
Yeah, at least they looked at it, but I don't know what happened to the virtual measurement that they were using all season that they decided not to use at that point.
Yeah.
You know, but
It's too cold. It's
too cold.
Too cold.
So we're not going to talk about the refs, whatever, man. I mean, refs aren't going to be 100% perfect, and again, you only score 7 points in a football game. It's on you for losing that game, not the refs. Look, I mean, only reason I want to talk about why the game would be different with Bo is, again, because it shows how valuable he is to the team. I said last week that as much as I love Bo, I didn't think that the Broncos were a quarterback-driven team, and I think that game proved me wrong. You know, Bo makes that offensive line look so much better. There was times when pressure got through that offensive line, and just as a Bronco fan watching Bo the last couple of years, you don't even flinch. It's just like, quarterback's going to be able to shake this one out. He's still going to be able to find somebody. He's not taking a sack. But you found very quickly with Stiddy, it was just like, oh, shit. Like he's dropping back like 12 yards. He has no chance. Even if he gets the ball off, like he was terrible under pressure. I don't remember what the numbers were, but he had no shot if he had pressure on him. And then, again, he had that little push pass that ended up going backwards, which was a backward pass. We don't need Bronco fans. We don't need to say it wasn't. So I think this game really proved how valuable Bo is. I don't think I'm crazy to say that I think the Broncos go into halftime up like 17-0 with Bo. You had a couple of plays that go the Broncos' way. There wouldn't be a 4th and 1 because that third down, Jarrett scrambles and comes up just short. Bo picks that up. So there is no 4th down there. And Bo doesn't make that mistake that Stiddy made, which gave the Patriots their only score of the half. So I really think the way the game plays out is totally different. Broncos take a lead and just kind of coast in the end. And we're talking about how the Broncos just won the most boring AFC Championship game ever and how they're going to be playing in the Super Bowl. But it didn't shake out that way, man. Come back next year.
I think as high as you were on Stiddy, you're putting him back now.
Well, I think personally,
I'll let Edgar make his point on.
I was going to say personally, I think y'all jinxed him. I mean, even when he was playing with the Raiders, he went over 300 yards, even with the horrible team. Personally, I thought with your guys' offensive line, he was going to play so much better, but
they didn't play well. The offensive line did not play well yesterday.
That
Quinn
defensive
Miners
tackles
all pro, and he didn't look great yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say because it was Tony Romo and who was the other guy?
Nance.
They were doing the thing and they're announcing it.
They're doing the thing.
Sorry. And Tony had to mention that how like you guys have 3 All Pros. Is it 3 or 2?
2.
2 All Pros, but 3 Pro Bowlers or something like that. Or your center, your left tackle, or one of your tackles.
2 All Pros.
Anyways, but one of them, Myers, was having a really bad day, and one of the most specific plays was when he literally let the defensive tackle just right through the middle.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dang, he's an All Pro. We just let anybody be pros at this point.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Come on. No. Quinn Miners was great all season. He had a bad game.
But yeah, dude, that offensive line. It was very interesting seeing that offensive line. And honestly, if Bo was quarterback, I could honestly see him getting out of the pocket, making more time. Maybe the weather being a little too much, but still, he can still run. He's shown that he can run. But
yeah, I mean, Drake May showed how valuable that was in the second half. If nothing's there to be able to step up in the pocket and pick up 8-9 yards. I mean, he won the game on a scramble.
And even
he put it away. So.
I feel like that was a lot of the defense not containing. A lot of the time was the defense trying to pin their ears back and go get it, trying to be a hero, which everybody wants to be in a game. Everybody wants to be the one that makes the big play, gets the big sack, makes a big catch. But sometimes you got to remember you also have an assignment, and you have to come through for your team with that assignment that was given to you.
Yeah.
Do you think the Patriots had a little advantage because of their white jerseys?
Kind of felt like that way in the second half.
Dude, they were like getting invisible when I was watching that shit.
Yeah. And I can't remember. Someone was saying that either wide receivers or Stiddy, I mean, you're having a lot of trouble picking out defenders because they blend right in with the snow,
Yeah.
I guess that was Riley Moss's advantage yesterday.
Sorry, that traffic cone orange really made him stay out.
No, he's like, how'd they see me?
Damn it, don't work with me.
But what was the point I wanted to address? Oh, about hyping City up too much. Look, Bronco fans knew going in that obviously chances with Stiddy were a lot lower than it would have been with Bo, but he's what we had, man. And I think that was the really cool part about Bronco Twitter, Bronco social media last week of everyone just getting behind him and saying, you know what, he's our dude, let's ride with him. Yeah, I mean, you want to be optimistic about your backup quarterback. And I don't think he had a terrible game. I mean, he outside of that terrible play that he had that, I mean, really changed the game. So, I guess at the end of the day, you have to chalk it up as a bad game because it ended up losing it. But, he still outperformed May when it came to passing. And Drake May's an MVP candidate, So he didn't have his best game, that's for sure. But I don't think we need to go out and pretend like it was the worst performance we've ever seen from a quarterback because it wasn't that.
No, I'm gonna pretend.
Yeah. So.
And it made Broncos fans look stupid by posting that picture of him. Everybody.
That doesn't make look. You could have your opinion. I don't care, but I mean that was just again. It was just getting behind our guy. He was our guy that week.
No, I honestly thought that he actually was going to do good. Honestly, I could honestly blame it on the weather because when he was playing with the Raiders, it was inside the stadium. But he's a good quarterback. But unfortunately, he didn't just the weather and everything else didn't go his way.
Yeah.
The reason he's a backup.
Yeah.
So
that's
not
the reason why Bo elevates his team to a different place.
But one thing we learned from the NFL, especially the last couple of years, that you definitely still need a good backup.
Yeah, for sure.
You never know.
Yeah, for sure. So we talk about Bo and how he elevated this team. Another point that people were making was like, if the Broncos, they had them right where they wanted them. They had the ball with 3 minutes left, only down 3. And yeah, I mean, if we had Bo, obviously in a situation like that, you feel pretty good because he did it time and time again this year. But again, the way I think that game shakes out with Bo is they're not in that position at all. I think they're ahead all game and coast to the end. But we'll never know. And it didn't work out that way. I mean, you could always say what ifs. I mean, the Chargers alone. I mean, if Slater doesn't get hurt and Alt doesn't go down early in the season, they could have won the AFC West and been the 1 seed. So we'll find out this year.
There's not any what ifs for the Raiders, though, Edgar. There's not.
There was nothing that could have changed with that fucking train wreck.
It's okay. I mean, it's okay because we already know Chargers are gonna Chargers, so I got nothing to worry about with the Chargers.
True. That's true.
Chargers are gonna.
They could win the 1 seed and go undefeated and still end up
Charger.
losing in the divisional round for sure.
Yeah. So at this point, even Omar at this point we're nervous about that. He can't blame either one of us on that.
Hell no. Damn well, no matter how well they play in the regular season next year, even if they go undefeated and have the 1 seed, and they're at home against like an 8-8 AFC South winner.
Playing the Browns.
Damn well you're going to be nervous going into that divisional round. Like, Justin Herbert, please
Miles
play well
Garrett's
one time.
destroy.
Just give us one good playoff game. So, as a Bronco fan, I know we don't have to worry about that with Bo.
But just to make Omar happy, at least you guys will be in the playoffs because the Raiders definitely won't.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they might have to still fight to get out of the first draft pick.
No, we got it.
No, next. Oh, you guys got it next year again? Damn,
Dang, dude.
Damn, real confident there.
2 first number 1 overall picks on the right path, I guess.
On the right path.
Yep.
Let's see. What else about the game do we want to talk about?
I mean, that pretty much covered it. I did see that, like, at the end of the game, that there was a few Broncos players that stayed on the field to watch, like, the presentation and everything on their field, the other team getting all that, all the glory. And that just goes to show, I'm going to give it up to the Broncos players here because that goes to show that, like, they wanted to soak that moment in and feel that defeat so then they could, like, build off of that.
Yeah.
And so that was something that's cool. I'm never going to hate on a competitor like that, even though they are Broncos players. Never know, they might be on another team one day. But I'm not saying the Chargers, but one day, they're
and you won't have to hate them.
They're competitors.
Yeah.
And with every sense of the word, the competition, they want to feel that defeat so then they can know how
feel
much.
it again next year.
Yes. I'm just saying. But so then they know how much they don't want to feel that again.
Yeah, I mean, look, we'll talk more about how, like, kind of a full recap of the teams and the season. So I don't want to get too deep into it right now, but yeah, the Broncos had a special team this year, man. I think looking back at it, outside of the Super Bowl years, I know you guys don't know much about how teams winning a Super Bowl and what that feels like, but being a Bronco fan my whole life, 37 years. Out of all the years where we didn't win a Super Bowl, this might have been my favorite one because it was just all those crazy wins, those comeback wins. You could tell that the team really likes being around each other and enjoying each other. The culture changed just from a couple years ago with Nathaniel Hackett. And then being able to do this podcast and talk about it every week was cool, man. So,
yeah. Going back to how are those similarities coming along with the 2015 team now?
Oh, it didn't end the same way.
He got the most sacks, though.
You set yourself up for that one.
Yeah. It was close. They wouldn't have been playing the Panthers next week either. they would have been playing the 2013 team that beat the living
Shit
brakes, and it probably would have been
It
probably would have been the
happened again.
same result, man.
Yeah.
I wonder what the spread would have been. I was so curious to like
It would have been bad.
It would have been a big spread. I don't know if it would have been as big as when the Broncos beat the Packers in Super Bowl 32. I think they were 14-point underdogs when they went and beat Green Bay. I don't know if it would have been quite that big of a spread. Just
It would have
because,
been close.
Yeah, it would have been close. I would have put it probably in 11.
I was gonna say 10.
Yeah,
Once the playoffs started, I saw Seattle, and I'm like, damn, they're good.
they're a good team, man, and
They
I
are
think they're
well
gonna.
built.
We'll talk about the Super Bowl next week, but they're gonna boat race the Patriots.
But one thing I was gonna talk about the Patriots, and I even said this about the Broncos earlier in the season. Like, you can tell like those are good teams because they make mistakes and they can overcome them. Like they can like their defense.
It's good coaching, man.
Yeah,
They have a good coach.
like that like even though like Drake May wasn't having like the best game and clearly he wasn't, that defense stepped up. That secondary was very sticky, like Omar said, with the receivers. I mean, they only played who they had in front of them. If Bo Nix would have been playing, sure, it would have been a lot more harder. Personally, I still think it would have been 1 point. It would have been one score difference, just because it's been like that all season for you guys. Doesn't mean that I don't think you guys would have won. I still think it would have been one score though. But yeah, dude, like you can tell these two teams were, both of you guys weren't having the best games, but both defense were keeping you guys in the game the entire time.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, these two teams are just gonna be. As of right now, the Patriots, they're not the best, but they're going to get better, and you guys are going to get better. And yeah,
I almost think they were lucky that the blizzard hit because
they were, yeah.
Because it would have been a shitty game either way. But now they have the excuse like, our offenses suck because of the blizzard. Like,
I mean, true, but I mean, like even like when they took like for example, when they got that weird like when Stidham threw that weird pass and they gave him the ball right there, they took advantage of that. They scored.
Yeah.
There's a lot of teams that got Raiders. They got the ball right there in the red zone and they couldn't score.
Chargers.
So like in the end of the day, like props to them. They took advantage of every moment they had, regardless of who they had in front of them. So, as much as they didn't play their best game, good luck to them in the Super Bowl because damn, Seahawks.
No, I'm not saying good luck to them. Fuck that.
But at the same time, like I gotta respect good teams.
Yeah, no, they're a good team, man. And the turnaround just from last year, drafting 4th overall, only winning. What do they win?
But that's a lot of free
games.
4 or 5 games, something like that. Yeah.
Let's see how long that lasts.
I mean,
That's
all that
free
money they
agents.
spent was well spent. They
Yeah,
had
for sure.
The number one like salary cap available to them, and they
took advantage of it.
every penny went to the right place.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see how they do next year with an actual schedule, because they're going to get a first place schedule. I don't know who their opponents are, but they get the Bills
And
twice.
Yeah, I was about to say
And
they're
then,
just
yeah.
in their division. It's going to be hard division.
Yeah. Well, they got the Bills twice. Outside of that, they have the Dolphins and the Jets. So
Yeah, like
you got
the
4
Bills.
easy wins there.
The Bills.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it's
They
funny-
lost to the Dolphins this
That's
year.
true.
They lost to.
It's funny because people are saying like, oh, they're gonna like first play or the worst team, like 4th place always gets the worst, like out of the schedule gets the worst, the easiest schedule, whatever.
Right.
Dude, I looked at the schedule. Dude, the NFC West is tough. It's gonna be this next year for the AFC West is gonna be tough.
It is. I
Yeah.
saw it.
Like
I
for
saw
all
it.
4 teams,
Yeah.
even for us. Like
I mean,
it's
we're
gonna
playing.
be-
We're playing one of the teams that's going to be in the Super
Super
Bowl,
Bowl,
the Seahawks. Another team that was in the playoffs in the Niners. Another team that was in the playoffs
With
in
the
the
Rams.
Rams. We get a little bit of a break with the Cardinals.
Yeah,
I mean, you guys get a little bit break.
they'll have a new head coach though, probably Vance
We'll
Joseph.
see.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
That's true.
We will have to get into coaching, the coaching carousel that we're all going to be part of. Maybe not head coaches on our side, but defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators, things like that.
There was Bronco fans calling for Sean Payton to be fired after yesterday. I thought that was the craziest shit.
Damn.
Yeah, there was some Bronco fans crashing out yesterday, and this
Yeah,
is crazy.
fire him. Yes, fire him, please.
You guys are fucking nuts sometimes, man. Emotions get the best of people sometimes, and firing Sean Payton would be fucking crazy. So let's not even get into that. So anything else from the game? I think that pretty much covers it.
I think we talked about almost everything.
IPAs and seltzers.
Wanna kick it off since you're
Yeah,
the only game.
Yeah, I'll kick it off, man. He didn't have the best game. but going out there and competing in the toughest spot imaginable. I mean, not playing for 2 years, getting thrown into a game like that against a good defense in the AFC Championship game when, 30, 40 million people are going to be watching. Jarrett Stidham, like what he did. I watched this documentary on the Bills 90s teams when they went to the 4 Super Bowls and lost. Sunday morning, woke up early and started watching that.
You wanted to feel somebody else's pain that was worse than
No,
yours at that
no.
point when you woke up.
No, just a dude that loves ball, so I'll watch anything about football. So, but what I thought was really interesting, one, which is really weird and we don't do anymore, thank God, because it was a stupid idea. Super Bowl losers still had a parade. Yeah. The first Super Bowl they all lost. The kicker, Woodard, something like that. He missed a kick at the end of the game that would have won it. Pushed it a little wide right.
Laces out.
Yeah, laces out. But what I thought was really cool is, and this would never happen today either because of social media, he spoke at the parade and everyone was cheering for him and had his back, and it was a really cool moment. You would never see that today. Miss a field goal like that, people would be calling for you to literally die, which is fucked up. But I thought that was cool, and it kind of reminded me of the moment with City. You know what, man? He didn't do it, but I think he did his best, and I think he should be commended for that. So have an IPA. Yeah. You missed out on tens of millions of dollars.
Yes.
but take an IPA.
You get an IPA from the Third and Thirsty, which is even better.
An imaginary IPA for you. Right. What do you guys got?
Okay.
Mine's gonna be a little bit out of the box. When I was watching this game, I was just like, "Damn, this guy is literally giving the Patriots the entire field to work with." And that's your guys' punter. I didn't catch his name, but
Crawshaw?
He was literally
had a terrible game.
No, I'm giving
Oh,
him
an
my
IPA,
IPA because he
I
was
sometimes
making
get
him
mixed up on where we're at in the
he was
podcast.
making him start from like anywhere inside the 20, from the 10,
Yeah.
anything, giving him making him work for every one of those yards.
He had a couple really good punts
compared to the Patriots punter too, which was having the worst fucking. I mean, I don't know if that's the worst game, but dude, your punts were horrible. But you guys, that punter was definitely helping you guys out, giving your defense plenty of,
Yeah, he had a pretty good season. He was a rookie, drafted in the 6th round, came out of Australia. I think he played pretty well. So it's good knowing that the Broncos have a pretty solid punter going forward.
My IPA is going to have to go to Mike Vrabel. I think he's, and that's just like the whole season, this whole postseason up to this point. He's been pushing all the right buttons. You've never questioned what he's been doing. He sticks to who he is, and he doesn't change from that. It's just a steady hand, steady hand that is steering the ship for them and is just cruising through. I mean, it might not play out at the end of the day for him with the Super Bowl, but I mean, to get to this point with the team that he took on, I feel like that deserves an IPA.
Yeah, for sure. Mike Vrabel, great coach. I knew when the Patriots brought him in that they'd be able to turn things around and have a pretty good season. I didn't think they'd be making it to the Super Bowl. So
yeah, once they lost to the Raiders, I was like, all right, we're still good here. But then, damn, they really turned it on after that.
You thought
after that, well, shit. When the Raiders won that game, it was like, damn, the Patriots are supposed to be pretty good. Geno Smith had a great game. Damn, maybe the Raiders are good this year.
No,
the
Raiders.
They
were
fooled
like,
me.
we were like the Raiders might not totally suck, but then they just reverted back.
Then they totally sucked. Yeah, Vrabel, great coach. Patriots going to be a problem going forward. Okay, seltzers. Let's knock them out.
Yeah, go for it.
I mentioned at the top of the show, we got to have a tough conversation about Courtland Sutton. And it pains me to say it because he's not just one of my favorite receivers of all time, but he's one of my favorite Broncos of all time. Been there since he's been drafted. Has been, the top target since he's been here, essentially. And has had really great catches and really great games as a Bronco. But that was the third playoff game he's played in his career, and that was the third playoff game where he's had multiple drops in big situations. Yeah. You have a number one wide receiver. You really expect him to be able to be that guy that you could count on. and not the guy that is making multiple drops. Oh, fuck.
And not even just drops, just disappearing for
he
long
would
stretches of time.
Disappear when the ball was thrown his way. And they weren't just like, all right, that would have been a tough catch. It's right through the hands. And on big plays, too. Third downs, situations where you could have made a third down shorter. Really, really sucks to say, man, because, again, I love Court. He just signed an extension, so it's going to be hard to move off of him.
Not going anywhere, yeah.
Which, he's Bo's favorite target, which is nice to have when you have a young quarterback. But Bo's moving out of that tier now. And I don't know if you really need that, like, safety net wide receiver if he's not producing in these situations, like playoff games. So, I don't know. We'll have a lot to talk about during the offseason with what the Broncos should be doing and upgrading their weapons, which they absolutely should be doing.
Not a lot of money there either.
The Broncos do have money to play with this year because Russ is coming off the books. But, he's going to be part of the team. And the wide receiver room, I don't know how much that's going to shake up. But at this moment, it feels like we need another number one to come in that we could rely on that can be that game changer. So my final seltzer of the year has to go to Courtland Sutton. Sucks. Well.
So I was debating for my seltzer because I kept going back and forth. I was thinking either Payton or Alex because he kept thinking Ingram was going to keep coming MVP in some of these games.
Damn it. I thought I might get through this episode without hearing about fucking Evan Ingram.
You beat me to it,
and I'm sorry. Oh, my bad, dude. I was going back and forth, bro. I couldn't go, but I went with Alex, man.
Yeah.
He didn't show up all season. No. I remember you roasting Omar because he skipped on going to the Chargers. At this point, you might as well let him go to the Chargers.
Yeah, seriously.
But
and he's stuck there still for another year.
Hopefully,
he's under contract. Yeah.
Hopefully next year, but I think he's still a good player. I just don't know what happened this year with him. And clearly, I don't know what happened to him in the playoffs because he was nowhere to be found.
No, he wasn't. That's pretty much the case for the entire season. It sucked the way that worked out with Ingram.
The most hype he got was when Sean Payton called him Joker before the season started, and everybody was waiting for that day.
Oh, never happened. Oh no, it did happen in the preseason. He had that one catch.
I think he had one catch.
You were like, catch. See, that's what he's gonna have to build off.
Dude, it was so exciting. It was like, oh my god, Evan Ingram's gonna open up the offense so much. He just ripped off a 51-yard catch. And, man, he's going to be doing that all season. I don't think he had 51 yards all season, which sucks because Evan Ingram seems cool as hell, man.
Yeah, I honestly thought he was going to be, like, really, like, solid for y'all.
Yeah,
but,
well,
yeah,
I drafted him on both of my fantasy teams, and that didn't – well, one worked out. But he certainly didn't produce.
But, yeah.
Since you took mine, Edgar, which is a fucking good one. Really good one.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go with the only thing that really, really stuck out with me this game was how free and open the running lanes were for Drake May. So that to me is the linebacker group not doing – maybe they were tasked with something else, but the linebacker group not being able to keep up with him. So I think that for me, the linebacker group, more specifically like the middle linebackers that weren't maybe either doing their job or put in the wrong position to be able to keep him, contained. So I think the linebacker group to me was the ones that kind of not gave up the entire game, but didn't make it any easier for anybody else.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched the All 22 yet. And like I said, I was drinking pretty heavily during the game yesterday. So I'd really have to dive into it and see if it just was the defensive line just not doing their best at containing.
There was a couple of them there.
Like the linebackers might have been tasked with something else. They might have been in coverage. I don't know if they had a lot of spies or not during the game. I wouldn't think so because, Drake May is a good scrambler, but he's not like a Lamar Jackson. At least he was he was yesterday, but before yesterday, wouldn't put him in the same tier. So I don't know. I'd have to go back and look, but that Broncos linebacker room might look a lot different next year.
And I saw a lot of free agents.
Singleton and Strnad, and they could move off of Dre Greenlaw if they wanted to. We'll see what they end up doing. Anything else we want to add to this AFC Championship game that did not go Denver's way?
No, just that we welcome you with open arms to the offseason.
Yep, we're all in Cancun now. I wish I was in Cancun.
One extra IPA I was going to give out was PS2. That fool was shutting down Boot.
Yeah, dude.
Booty?
Yeah.
Booty.
He had a great game, man.
Like, literally, it looked like they literally told him, like, all right, you stick with him. We'll take care of everybody else.
That would have been a fun matchup, too, in the Super Bowl with him and JSN. I would
that would have been dope. Yeah.
JSN is balling, dude.
Yeah, he is. But,
balling.
I mean, PS2 is the best corner in the league, so it would have been fun to see. It would have been a great matchup. But instead, we get the Seahawks and the Patriots, which, I don't know, I guess we'll talk about next week.
I mean, it's still a pretty solid matchup, but, I mean, it's not PS2. Chris Gonzalez is still a pretty good corner, but
Mims burned his ass. Mims burned his ass to get
honestly.
The game started.
Yeah, he did, and I'm not gonna, I'm not no excuses on that one. But I honestly, when I saw that, I'm like, this is how you can tell they're young because he let him pass, thinking the safety had him.
Right.
And then even on that touchdown throw, like they bid on that run.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yeah, you can tell these guys are young. Like they're biting into everything.
Yeah. Yep. Well,
I will say I was wrong on Mims.
Yeah,
I did think that maybe he was gonna have a down year, but I honestly think that he was honestly held back this year.
Yeah, that's been, and we'll get into it more during the offseason talks, but that's been the weirdest thing about Sean Payton's time here with Denver is not using Mims as much as everyone wants him to use it.
Especially with that speed.
Yeah, I mean, this is the second year in a row now where Mims gets more play in the offense at the end of the season and is clearly the best receiver on the field and the hardest to cover and is able to go out there and make those plays. So, I don't know. Maybe Sean gives him a bigger role to start next season. I hope he does because
I thought he was saving him for the playoffs.
Yeah, but maybe he's a clear weapon, man. He's got to be on the field there more, even if you have to move him off of the return game, which, he wasn't all pro twice for that. So that might be a tough move to make, but if you could put him and he makes plays like that on offense consistently, it's well worth it, I think. Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
No, as far as the game goes, that pretty much covers it.
Okay. Well, 383 days until Bo Nix wins his first Super Bowl.
Oh, we're going back.
Yeah, we're going backwards. Cheers.
Not happening. Cheers.